Right. In fact, my mother loaned me $5,000 to set up my company. One other part is that I do not do projects that downsize company.
Downsize meaning cutting the staff?
Cutting staff.
Why is that so?
I mean, people need to make a living, and you cut the job and then they will be in trouble. I told my wife to quit her job, full-time job, to take care of the children. And we both quit our jobs at the same time. I was sad, I was worried, I was very stressed up because by then we have two other colleagues, two other staff in the organization. When I went to the international field, I started to focus on the three things I mentioned: professionalism, quality, and service. Somehow my counterparts like it, and I got known for that. And referral for jobs came back automatically. Officially, I indicate on my IC as a Buddhist, but of course I couldn't differentiate between Buddhist and Taoism. So when I was younger, so I just said, oh, Buddhist is my religion, and since then I've been following that. In my mother's house, we have Buddha, then we have the Taoist deities where we offer prayers to. So it's a mixture, right, of Buddhist and Taoism. They are usually ancestors. Then, of course, they become iconized to become a deity or a god per se. So like Guan Yin, right, Guan Yin Pusa, or Guan Gong, right, the warrior god and all this. Of course, that will have some influence in our life. Like, for example, for Buddhists, we are taught to be compassionate. We are taught to moderate things, right? Not to cause harm to others, right? We don't harm people, right? In the way we live, right? And Taoism, we talk about the harmony and the balance, the yin and the yang. I do not do projects like lay off workers, or maybe the manpower supply kind of work, something that I don't do because there is some social impact on the workers itself. It's a Buddhist behavior, right? Don't harm others. And, yeah, but of course I think that one makes a lot of money.
When you say manpower supply, that is actually giving jobs to people, right?
Yeah, but they give jobs, they also collect money from the manpower, so they have to sell away their land, right, and borrow from their relatives to pay the payment to come to Singapore. Yeah, so then sometimes they are not delivered what is promised. They couldn't find jobs sometimes, right? So I think these are some issues, social issues that need to be addressed. So in your business, right, you want to make money, yes, you make money, but not on the expense of others. over the years, I have friends. One of my friends is a geometry master. So he told me, let's collaborate. He says that in Chinese geometry, we say first is the life, whether your life is designated to be a boss or designated to get rich, right? So the second one is luck, right? And of course, he being a feng shui master, the third one is feng shui, right? And he named a fourth one. He said management, right? Management. So I can fill in on the part on management. So of course, my belief is that you need a bit of luck, right, to get in touch with the right people, and you need a bit of luck to get in touch with people who are willing to help you and willing to collaborate with you and willing to give you business. That one is very difficult. Destiny, whether not every time you try, you have a chance to be successful, right? So some people tried many times, so they failed, so they went back to line job. Then of course, feng shui, yes, maybe feng shui involved the setting of the office and also selection of specific auspicious timing, right, to get things done. But my friend believed that the last part is still management. So it's how you manage your operations, how you manage your people, how you manage your processes. My friend is a geometry, I have to support him, so I gave him some business. So he started to change the layout plan of my office, and so then of course to put in a certain angle for the door, right, and also certain artifacts, right, in the office, right. So, and he even helped me to draft a few words and paste on the wall, So of course I see that it's no harm, it's no harm. I mean, being a professional management consultant, I myself believe in facts, I believe in data, right? I believe in how to analyze the data to decide what strategies to adopt. Do not expect it to be 100% influencing the outcome. So I still need to work very hard. I need to be very professional in my services. A lot of my SME clients believe in feng shui, and a lot of them are very successful ones. So I have a client who has about 30 restaurant outlet in Singapore. He believes in feng shui. Yeah, I didn't ask him for details because it's sensitive, So sometimes the client may not want to tell you that, but then behind the scene they do everything necessary to make themselves successful. So this client of mine, in addition to feng shui, his management is also very good, and the way he motivates his people is also very good, So I think you need all aspects, right, of all aspects of the luck, right, destiny, the feng shui, and the management, right, to get something very successful. Yes, I'm still in. So the scale is now smaller. So I service my regular clients, in Singapore, and for overseas, I'm helping the Asian Productivity Organization to set up certification body in their member countries to help those certification body overseas. So I have done for Malaysia, Vietnam, Mongolia, Pakistan, India. So they are all now accredited to the Asian Productivity Organization. So I'm now working on Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Turkey. So I write the systems for them to implement. I train them, right, to manage the system. I train assessors to assess certified productivity specialists. Actually, my overseas services started in 1995 in the Philippines. So I was implementing lean management in the garment manufacturing industry in the Philippines. So I went there once a year for 3 years, visit companies, conduct diagnosis, make recommendations, and conduct training. Asian Productivity Organization. So because there are 21 member countries, so they tap on expertise from another country. So I happened to come from Singapore, and they attended my presentation. At that time, I was in the National Productivity Board, so they decided to call me in, right? And of course, since then, almost like every year, I have a number of projects working with the Asian Productivity Organization. For example, in July, first week of July, I'll be in Cambodia, delivering a program on flexible wage system that is linked to productivity. And the second week, I'll be in Tokyo, right, to help them on the certification body management kind of matters, right? And end of July, I'll be going to Bangladesh. Family development of the kids is also important. Like for me, I own the business. I have dedicated space for my children when they were young. So during office hours, they can come to the office and hang around. And my wife has quit her job outside and joined me, and her time is very flexible. She can look after the kids, she can chauffeur the kids around, right? And I think that is a very important part of development. So this part here, I believe I've done quite well, and so far my kids are completed universities and have 4 grandchildren now. They are quite well developed, they know what to do in life. The stress level, right, in a person is also critical. Over the years, at certain stages, I was sick. Because of stress, right? Because, for example, when my partner left me, I was stressed out. I learned from there, and I start to manage my stress. And for example, when I took on the Africa assignment, it's the first time that I go to Africa. I was telling myself, I try my best. Then, of course, with that kind of feeling, my stress is quite reduced. Like on my first trip there, we had a lot of problems. We booked for a vehicle, the vehicle came 4 hours late. The whole program is upset. Then when we are about to leave the site at 5 o'clock, they came at 8 instead. I can manage my stress. I say I try my best. Of course, I don't take it so seriously that I make this mistake. For example, if you take on a project with very high profile people, it's stressful. Over the years, I try to avoid this kind of projects. I do not borrow that much of money from the bank, right? So, and I do not have an OD facility for my company since day one. So we do not borrow money from the bank so that we don't run into financial issues. So in a way, you try to avoid stress, then you can last longer. I started to learn from a lot of experts, right? And every time I see a senior person, I try to learn from them. So at that time when I was with the National Productivity Board, we have actually many Japanese experts attached to the Productivity Board. So I spend time with most of the experts and to learn from each one of them in different areas. I believe we need a positive mindset. The consultant knows the know-how as to what to do to implement certain things. For example, if you say, I want to implement HACCP or ISO 22000 food safety management system, right? Then they do not know how to do. So the consultant will be useful to help them study their processes, identify the critical control points, and develop the system and to train them to implement the system. Consulting process will actually start with a diagnosis, where you set up the KPIs, right? And of course, during the implementation or after the implementation, you start to measure the performance. It has to be mutual with the clients. They have to agree, because you need to have buy-in. Otherwise, they will challenge you. And in Singapore, if you want to tap on ESG grants, you have to be a certified consultant, right? And there are 3 agencies providing this certification, and they are all approved by Enterprise Singapore. The process to be a consultant is that you need to attend basic consulting skills program, you pass the written exam, and then you need to clock 2,000 practice hours, and then you need to get 2 or 3 positive client testimonial, right? With that, you apply, and then if you get cleared, you pass the interview, you become a certified consultant, right? And then of course, SME can actually utilize your services, right, to implement certain consulting projects that is funded by the Singapore government. And of course, if you really want to be a consultant, you need to be mentored by somebody.
Why is that? Why is mentored?
Because the process is quite complex. There is a client-consultant relationship. There is this project management. There's this emotional quality that you have to perform, right? So basically, a consulting project is to satisfy the needs of the customer, the client, right? And how do you satisfy that? You need to build good relationship with the client, and you need to come up with good contents, right? That is professional, that meets what you have promised, right? So there are a lot of factors, right, required to be a management consultant. So that's why it is always better, easier to learn under the mentorship of somebody who is experienced. They can join a consulting firm, right? You can join the big 4, like McKinsey and all these people, right? But the big 4 actually look at much bigger company, MNCs per se, right? Maybe the future is good, the pay is good, but of course to get in, it's like maybe 1% of 30,000 applicants will get to be chosen to be a consultant. Otherwise, you can join in a local consulting firm, right? And you learn from there, right? There are still a lot of local consulting firms in Singapore that actually hire people. To test whether you are interested, you can join in some of the enterprise development center as business advisors. So their role is quite similar to consultant. Subject matter, I think you are right. Subject matter is very important, and professionalism, you deliver what you promise. And the second thing is quality. Quality is meeting requirements. That means if you have this set of requirements, you need to meet it, and also service, right? So generally, I focus on these 3 areas throughout my life: professionalism, quality, and services. So professionalism is to promise, to deliver what you promise. In consultancy, we have what we call the terms of reference, right? So we have to deliver the terms of reference, right? And in addition, right, you can provide more, right? So that becomes service, right? So of course, the service will also involve responding to the client's requests and making life easy for the client. Population of Singapore is only 5 over million, right? To get to a saturation point is very fast. Actually, from my experience, most programs can only last 5 years in Singapore. Whereas maybe in countries like Indonesia, China, it can last forever, right? Because of the population is very big, you develop a product, you keep selling, right, to people. But in Singapore, it's a different ball game altogether, right? So maybe Singapore is a very good platform for product development and initial launching. Then after that, you need to consider overseas market. There should be a balance of both. The fees in Singapore can be higher. Like for example, if you secure a program in Cambodia or in Malaysia, I don't think they will pay you the rate that Singapore companies are paying you. So you need to have a balance of both, because Singapore business environment will change, government policy will change, right? If you are doing funded projects, there may be policy that actually change the funding mechanism. Like for example, over the years, like ISO 9000 is no longer funded by the government, right? So then of course, if you are in that particular area, you will be stuck, right? So you need to have a spread. Future consultants need to be very IT savvy.